it was a cool like 2 seconds, but it lasts like 10 seconds. The first thing that came into mind was Kai Wamoyo's bike.
Hello viewers, and welcome back to Mama Nduthi channel. Last week, Dos had an accident with Uno, and for those who don't know who Uno is my lovely bike. From this experience, we've learned some lessons, and we would like to share our experience and lessons with you for purposes of helping someone who may be going through this or preparing you for the future, just in case it happens to you. And so I'll be talking to Dos seated right here, resting his leg and arm. I would like you to tell the viewers your experience, especially because this was my bike and you're my husband. And you know the way people always see, if you hear of an accident, the first thing you hear, the bike okay? Or
then the last question, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did it happen? So through this experience, one thing I realized is that I have to be very careful with my words, my questions, how I ask them, when I ask them, and even choice of what I ask, to avoid being insensitive, because I love you as my husband, but I also love Uno as my bike. So what went through your mind, like, just when the accident happened?
I was going to work. Then there was this unmarked bump on the road. I hadn't seen it. And on Oyaki Way, Dumboini area, there are so many unmarked bumps nowadays. I think because of guys speeding. I hadn't seen that bump. I just saw it then. Instead of just going with the flow, I braked. The bike flipped. It was a cool like 2 seconds, but it lasts like 10 seconds. I fell on the ground, and I was like, the first thing that came into mind was Kai Wamoyo's bike. Even that was my first question. Wasn't like, am I okay? It was like, how is the bike? Then picked up the bike. There was a boda guy who helped me carry the number plate because it had gotten off. Then came home, breaking the news to you that I had gotten into an accident and that I needed first aid. He just looked at me. He asked me, are you okay? I was like, yeah. What happened? I didn't see a bump.
I remember when you came in, I heard the sound of the bike, and by the time I got to the window, I saw the tail of the bike, the back side of the bike, and I saw the damage, and I saw the boda guy holding the light, and I remember telling Maki, Dos has had an accident, but I couldn't see you. So I was concerned, who's riding the bike and where are you?
Mm-hmm.
And why is this boda bringing the bike here? But by the time I got to the staircase, you were coming up with blood on your trouser. I really wanted to ask how is my bike. But I knew if I do that now, I really don't know what has happened and I don't know how you're feeling. I told myself, stay calm. Go to the hospital, make sure everything is okay, then ask those questions. Did you at one point feel like my questioning was kind of insensitive? Because I have struggled with that, no lie. I have struggled with putting a balance, you and the bike, and not looking like I care too much about it.
No, for me, there are people who've borrowed my bike and they've crashed it. So sometimes I tend to care more about my bike than the person. But if it's another person who has their own bike and they've crashed, then that's a different story.
So is this an admission that you felt the care for the bike come out in the conversation?
No, I could see You know, like it was on a Friday, you had the ride on a Sunday, and I was thinking, no, no, you're not going to ride on Sunday. There are so many things. And we had just bought the bike. You know, it has 2,100 kilometers on it.
And you know it's my favorite. I
Yeah.
don't give it a name. I don't give my bikes names easily.
Yeah. I think it's important to gear up. Yeah. So that was the biggest lesson. Actually, they're just bruises.
Let me confess that morning when I looked at you, I wanted to say those were the other jackets. I also wanted to say wear knee pads. And I wanted to tell you that helmet is not right. And I wanted to say this is not the scooter. But I never said any of those things. And I remember you asking me, no, I asked you, are you riding? And then you asked me, so we already agreed I'm taking your bike and I fuel it, or you have changed your mind.
Yeah.
So I've also dealt with the fact that I feel like I should have talked then.
Yeah. But anyway, accidents happen. Accidents happen. I think the government, first of all, because of erecting unmarked bumps and not marking the road well. These are roads that I'm used to, but then they had erected bumps that I had not seen.
And they don't put a signage. They also don't mark the bumps.
Yeah.
So visibility is zero. Without a signage, then you also don't see the bump.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate that the people who are responsible, engineers who are responsible of giving us good roads, are the people who are not taking road safety seriously. Their responsibility on road safety is not taken up seriously. And can you imagine if all roads were properly marked, bumps were properly marked? We will eliminate a very big percentage of accidents that are happening due to just poorly maintained road, unmarked roads, unmarked bumps. See, we have seen Gong Road.
Yeah.
Yes, but thank you that you have taken up Gong Road.
And I think the other one is, I think gearing up really well, because mine was a very short distance. I thought I'm just going, then I come back. The third one was insurance. Medical insurance is really important, because it was very unexpected. It's in the middle of the month. You didn't know you had emergencies or accidents, then the medical insurance just plays well, even though it's an NHIF, I think. So, yeah.
And also like I was saying, the choice of your insurance company for the motorcycle, and also choosing to insure comprehensive or third party is very important. Because if you go with a company that is not responsive, or their processes are not as fast, you really don't know what damage you're going to get on your bike. And from our experience, the damage was a bit too much. So if we hadn't put comprehensive, if we didn't have a good insurance company, I think we would be digging deep into our pockets
to repair the bike.
More to repair the bike.
I think it's easier to just dig deeper in your pocket and pay for a good, reputable insurance who are very responsive. I think I'm happy with the insurance company, and then rather having a cheap insurance and it will take long to,
or not even compensate. And then what do you say about ABS? You know, we are used to ABS on our that we let go.
So that's a very tricky question, because I thought if I had ABS it would have been easier, but then it was the fishtailing and just hitting a bump. So
so two things about ABS is that it's very good to invest in a bike with it, and if you choose a bike without ABS, then it's very good to know your bike very well,
to learn how to ride it
and how to respond to such
emergencies.
But accidents do happen.
They
never knock.
This is the second accident I've had in, I think, over 10 years. Because the first one, it was also same. It was on a roundabout, and there was water on the roundabout. There was oil, so I just slipped and fell.
We thank God you're okay.
Yeah.
It's just the knee and the hand.
Yeah, just a bit of bruising.
Just a bit of bruising. But we hope that this video helps someone else.
Yeah.
You probably have given out your bike and you've had to deal with emotions that you could speak out about. I hope now you feel comfortable that these things do happen.
Yeah.
Take note of what we have said. Those are our lessons. I can't imagine if you were not my husband and then you had to claim for medical expenses on that insurance. I have no idea how that would have gone, but I remember the cop asking,
Yeah,
us
are
at the
we
police station, why-
using it for
medical
for
expenses.
medical? Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely think it will be a process. So a medical cover is important.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dos. Watu wameogopa, you know, when I shared the images, it's good they see you're okay. Yeah. They were worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a heavy bike.
It's a heavy bike.
Yeah.
And I think that's what has saved a lot of damage on that bike as well. The metal. I'm still keeping Uno without ABS. She's my favorite.
I can't wait for her to come back.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait for her to come back. She'll be here soon. Thank you so much, Jos, for opening up and having this conversation with me. I honestly feel much better. I would say that the biggest lessons I have learned from me are two. One is to stay calm. To stay calm and go through the whole process. Ensure that the person is well, healthy, safe, and then the process of the court, the insurance, and all that calmly. And secondly, the other lesson I have learned is opening up, being honest with each other, having this conversation. I would honestly say to you who's watching and wondering how to deal with it, that being honest, opening up, being honest and having that conversation is helpful. That's how I feel right now. So I hope that this video will help you. I hope that our experience is a lesson that you don't have to go through to learn something from it. I hope that this experience that we've had helps you in mitigating or knowing how to handle a situation similar to this. And if you have gone through a similar situation, if you found this video helpful, kindly share your experience with us in the comment section below. And also, do not leave here without subscribing and following us on our social media accounts, which is Throttle Adventures on Instagram, Throttle Adventures on Facebook, at Dos Karaoke on Instagram, at Wamoyo on Instagram. And of course, make sure you get yourself our coolest tees. Yeah, our travel adventure, Throttle Adventure, is now on wearable print. Until the next video, it is bye from us.